Let's get on to, I suppose, a different form of like an AI voice tracking. So where you've got these larger rooms and you might want to incorporate the auto tracking camera functionality with gooseneck microphones or ceiling array systems that you may have in there. So we have a product called the CamConnect Pro. So the CamConnect Pro is designed to work with many different products, and it's not just limited to the Sennheiser, Shure, Yamaha, Nureva, and Audio Technica microphones that you see there. We also work with gooseneck microphones. It is very, very economical to compare to, let's say, other solutions that are out in the market because it can actually run up to 16 different microphones and control 4 different PTZ cameras or auto tracking PTZ cameras with a single unit. So got a little animation of it here. So as I said, it works with multiple array microphones or a desktop microphone. It detects a sound location. The microphone, then the information is transmitted to the CamConnect, and the AI in there determines the angle information about where it's coming from, and then it's set in to work with the presets and the cameras in there to go to a specific position. Hopefully all that makes sense, and the little video there shows that. You'll see that camera 1, it's picking up a noise, it's triggering. Camera 2, it's picking up from the mic, it's triggering the CamConnect and then the PTZ. So let's see how that can be used in real life. So maybe something like a hybrid meeting room type setup, video conferencing, department meetings. You might have, say, 6 to 12 people. It might be rectangular conference table, a U-shaped conference table. This is how you can set up various different speakers to work with the CamConnect mics, I should say, sorry. So here's with a Sennheiser solution for a medium room, and you've got the microphone at the top. You've actually got, you can see that in there we've got the PTZ cameras at the top. So the Sennheiser Team Connect ceiling picks it up. It goes through an Ethernet switch. It goes into the CamConnect Pro. That actually has a USB out that can feed to an MTR for like a Teams meeting, and then it go into your audio DSP and your loudspeakers on there. We can also, apart from the USB out of the CamConnect, we also have a HDMI out, and we have multi-view outputs as well. So it's very, very flexible in your setup and what you can do. Let's show another different scenario. So yeah, a standard rectangular setup with something like a Sennheiser Team Connect Ceiling 2. We've actually got one of these set up in the office, and I'll show how this works after. Similar type principle. We have the Team Connect ceiling mic up there, runs into the Ethernet switch, runs into the CamConnect Pro. The CamConnect Pro, instructs all the PTZs to move as needed. And you'll see they're actually they're tracking cameras, so we can actually use its own tracking in there in combination with the mics, as I've mentioned previously. You might have other microphone systems. You might have a bar system like a Nureva. So we could work with a Nureva system. So there is a setup with a microphone and speaker bar above a monitor, and that can feed in through their HDL 310 or their 410 module, and then into the CamConnect MTR or whichever workflow you want on there. You might have a larger area, so a larger training room with multiple sound bars. So you can see here we've got, you might have sound bars, you might have a front MTR front row set up there, and a sound bar on the side. We can work in with multiple setups and multiple tracking cameras and PTZ cameras as well. As I mentioned, you're also not limited to what sort of microphones you do use. So if you're in the Sennheiser camp or the Shure, the Yamaha, or the goosenecks, it doesn't matter. We work in with all of those. So you can have a combination of them. And you can see here in the setup, we've got multiple microphones in the roof. So we can have up to 16 of these. So you might have potentially different rooms, and you might have a single PTZ camera in that room, and you might have 4 microphones. They can then control that single PTZ camera in that room, where you might have a physical output going into a setup, but then you might be using the same CamConnect Pro for another room with exactly the same setup and another PTZ camera as well. belong. Larger size rooms, so you might have a larger setup where you've got 20 to 60 participants, and a corporate, higher education, government area that you need live projections on there. Larger setup, we can still work with those sort of scenarios as well. So we can work in, as we've got here, with wireless desktop microphones in the scenario that we've got set up there. We can also work with different, another popular area is digital new style courtrooms. As I mentioned earlier, we have products of the VCTR60A, which has the PIP outputs. Many different ways we can set things up depending on what's needed. So you'll see here that we've got the picture, there's cameras at the back and cameras at the side, and so that can work in with the Dante audio information and the sound location, then pass that through to the, working with the system there, to the CamConnect, as we mentioned earlier on there. Okay, so we're actually going to click through now, and I'm actually going to show you the CamConnect, how it actually works. So we'll actually just go onto a web page. So you'll probably see here, I've actually got this is a Sennheiser setup, and we've got this set up in the office here. And I'll just get up and walk around, and you can actually see the azimuth changing, and you'll be able to see the little dome and the information from the cockpit on the Sennheiser, give you information out. So you can see that that's actually working. What we'll do is I've also got a page here where I've actually got the CamConnect. So here's a CamConnect GUI. As you see, I've got a variety of different, you can set up the amount of microphones, have up to 16 on there. There's TCC2, TCCM, Nureva, Yamaha, whatever we want on there. We have our video output settings. So from the device, we've got UVC, HDMI, UVC and HDMI, and also video output layout options as well. Cross, picture and crop on there. Back up to the unit. And we've actually got a VCTR30 down here. We're currently disconnected at the moment. Let's go back into here, and you'll see we've got the zones down here. So when you set it up and you work it all out, we can connect in, we can set the presets up on the camera, TR30, and we can actually connect onto it. And what it will do is when there's triggering on the, you'll see it moving there now, little dots below the device and the camera mapping. So we'll walk around the room. Depending on how this is set up, you'll see it triggering different areas. And this can work, we can have multiple cameras in there set up to trigger, and whichever preset on those cameras. So that's a very basic functionality of how it works. So the camera connects into the camera. We've got trigger level, time to trigger, back to home time, back to home camera, back to home presets, a lot of different options in there. But it's definitely worth having a look at, this sort of technology. It's being very well received, and a lot of people are quite surprised just how well it works when it's been set up on there. All right, so let's go back to the presentation.